from the 60s, natural kind of beauty, no surgeries. Can't get this kind of look from anything else but God, and everybody knows it too. You got that 60s kind of vibe to you, and it's hard to be. Ain't gonna find it here in this century. Other people try, but they can't compete. You got that kind of class, ain't nobody teach. I wanna hold you now till infinity. Look back on the years, count our memories. Other people try, but they can't compete. You got that kind of class, ain't nobody brings.
The day is finally here, and I'm so happy to introduce Debi, my 1966 C33A Beechcraft Debonair. I've been waiting over 4 years for this day, so I'm very, very happy to be here, and I'm excited to give you guys a little tour of her. Beechcraft is known for crafting clean line aircraft, and the Debonair is no exception. Her paint is in great shape, and as you can see, she's a beautiful red and silver. Kind of perfect since she's here in the silver state of Nevada. She's got a Hartzell 3-blade prop and was overhauled down in Santa Monica, California, and only has just over 400 hours. I like the 3-blade design versus the 2-blade, as it makes it much less noisy in the cockpit. She's got a Continental IO 520 engine that easily cruises around 180 knots or over 200 miles per hour. This one is almost 30 years old, so during the pre-buy I did a very thorough look to make sure it would perform and last. Though 30 years is a long time, these engines, if maintained well, are built to last. Debi is equipped with long-range tanks, giving her a total of 74 gallons usable, or 37 gallons per tank. The leading-edge tanks are located in each wing. With a useful load of almost 1,200 pounds, she can carry both a lot of fuel and is a true 4-seat airplane. The Debonair is high performance, meaning it has over 200 horsepower available, this one having 280. It's retractable gear, and Beechcraft prides itself on having some of the best simply built gear than its competitors. I have a gear up and down light inside my cockpit, as well as an emergency hand crank that sits just behind the front passenger seat. Now some of you may be wondering, why is it called a Beechcraft Debonair if it looks just like a Bonanza? Well, it basically is a Bonanza. The Beechcraft Debonair was the first straight-tail Bonanza, but while the classic V-tail Bonanza was discontinued, the Debonair continued in production. And after a while, Beechcraft decided to call it for what it is, a Bonanza. Personally, I'm glad it was called a Debonair for a time, otherwise I would not have named her Debi. Let's go take a look inside. She's got a single door entrance and exit, as well as a baggage door here that leads to an actually bigger than you would think baggage compartment. The interior overall is in great shape. The previous owner opted for a sleek gray color throughout the entire plane, and going forward, I'm definitely going to be putting my own personal touch on this plane, so I'll be upgrading both the interior and the panel. Over here at the panel, you can see I've got all the basic necessities for VFR flight, though it's pretty prehistoric to say the least. I've got my analog instruments here, as well as a digital EGT and CHT above my original engine monitoring instruments here. My battery and alternator switches sit in the left next to the turnkey mags and starter. Moving left, you can see I have a dual yoke. Originally, this plane had what's called a throwover yoke for single pilot flying. I do like that both me and the front passenger can fly, while I can still have control of the airplane should I need to jump in. This spar, however, does make it a little hard to see some things on the panel. You can see my flaps up and down switch here, as well as its corresponding light. My trim wheel sits just below, and my landing gear up and down light sits just above my landing gear switch. All the way on the left here are my lights, and above my wonderful 30-year-old radios. I have a working Collins audio bar, COM1 and NAV1 radio, and basic ADS-B out transponder. It does have a VFR and IFR GPS with an autopilot that slaves to the IFR GPS, however both GPSs are in-op, so they're also obsolete. Despite the panel's old age, she's got a lot of character, and I can't wait to make some upgrades to make her my own. I'm going to be making a video in the future about my experience and what the steps were for buying my very first aircraft. It was definitely a bit of a process, but so rewarding. Thanks for watching this short but sweet video, and I'm very excited to bring you guys along for my flying adventures in Debi. Let me know if you guys have any questions about the Beechcraft Debonair in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.